For those of you who don't know, Stories from Wanderland is my travel series that shares all the unforgettable moments of living, loving, and traveling abroad. For the culture explorer in all of us, you and me, everybody who loves culture, loves hearing about stories, travel stories, things that we learn. This is the travel series for you. And we're talking about reflections for 2020 and vision for 2021. So there are 7 questions I'd like to answer, and this was really inspired by a travel influencer, you might say. Her name is Eva Zubek. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, or Eva Zubek. And she really posted these 7 questions, and I thought they were so great. Let me see if I can write her. That's her thing. She posted these 7 questions, and I thought they were so great that I really wanted to answer them. I felt like they summed up a lot of things that happened in 2020, because 2020 been a year. Oh my god. Peer crosses, there's weird things happening in 2020, like so many things. I got stuck abroad during COVID. At the start of COVID in New York, I got stuck in New York in the shutdown, in the lockdown. My visa expired while I was abroad because of COVID. I couldn't get back home in time. But I got home, I quit my job. All my contracts just disappeared in the span of like, all my work contracts for like the next 6 months just disappeared in the span of like 3 weeks. What else happened? Yeah, so many things. Like 2020 was just, so many things. Also, a lot of good things happened as well. So let's get into my 7 questions. So the first one is, what made me feel happy, fulfilled, or proud in 2020? For me, there are a few things that come to mind. Like, I just did things that immediately popped up in my brain. I didn't really, just quick and dirty, so I didn't really ponder about it or meditate upon it. I think I'll do meditation maybe tomorrow or at the start of 2021. I just wanted the things that really popped into my brain, and I wanted to have that surprise. Sometimes it's really interesting, the things that come up when you don't really put too much thought into it. So what made me feel happy, fulfilled, proud for 2020? And so my first thing that came up was launching my course. Oh my god, I'm so excited about this. So I launched my solo travel starter course. I launched it yesterday, and it's for to teach women how to solo travel in 6 steps and help them to create their epic life moments, explore the world on their own terms. So it's really for new women who are new to solo travel. And there's live training with me. It's 6 modules, so it's 6 weeks, and you get live training with me after each module. I'm so excited. So all my 11 years of solo travel is just poured into this course, and I can't wait for all the women who are gonna be, well, also men can do it, but it's mainly geared to women. For all the women who will be joining. So that's my first one. Launching my solo travel starter course is one of the first things that popped into my brain. I'm so proud of. I'm so happy. Like, I feel like it's just part of me being able to contribute to empowering women in the Caribbean. The next thing was becoming a brand ambassador for Turtle. Turtle is a travel gear and travel lifestyle brand that I love. Oh my god, the Turtle pillow is my favorite travel pillow in life. There is nothing better. Nobody can tell me nothing. The Turtle travel pillow is great. And so they launched their Turtle mask, which is a multifunctional mask where it comes as a scarf. You can use it as a face shield, and it also comes as a mask. And so I'm one of their brand ambassadors. Ooh, they're one of their new brand ambassadors. So that happened in 2020. And also, I also feel really fulfilled for following my intuition to leave my job, my cushy, financially secure job in international development that I was enjoying. It was very hectic, but it was still, I left it because it just wasn't. It wasn't it. It was not it. And one of my coworkers actually here. Hey, Drini. So yeah, following my intuition to leave my really good job to true focus on being an entrepreneur and to really do the things that I want to do. So it was really fulfilling. People can, whenever I tell people I like my job, they're like, why? Was it awful? Was it toxic? Did you hate it? And I'm like, no, it wasn't toxic. It was awesome. My coworkers were great. The project was good. We worked with giving, disadvantaged youth access to tertiary education and helping them develop their careers, etc. So it was really great. It just wasn't the job that I wanted to like. It wasn't it. And the final thing that popped in my brain was reconnecting with my mother and my mommy and my brother. So I lived abroad. If anybody knows me, I've lived abroad. I've been away since 2009. I moved away in 2009. My family is also split. We don't all live in Jamaica. And I moved abroad for like 7 years. And so there was sort of like disconnect with my family. Just because distance, it wasn't like hostile or anything like that. It just distance, And so one of the positives of COVID, of the pandemic, was that, like I said, I got stuck in New York, and my whole family lives in New York. So I was able to reconnect with my mommy because I spent 4 months every day in that house, 24/7 with my mother and my brother. So that was cool. That's one thing that made me happy for 2020. Okay, next question. What made me feel like I wasn't living in line with my authentic self? So my answer for that is whenever I said yes to a job, because I felt I had to do it just to earn money. So Marie Forleo, who is one of these life gurus, I don't know, I love her. Her content and her work is really great. She does she gives lots of business entrepreneurial advice, but also life advice, and I just love her quirkiness and her personality. And so she talks about there are things that when you think about them, it's like you feel yourself either contract or expand. And a lot of times when we do a job where it's just linked to earning, we just feel like there's this sort of like internal desperation or anxiety where I need to earn because I just need to be financially secure. A lot of times when you think about those jobs, you kind of like just feel yourself kind of like contract. And whenever I choose jobs or say yes to things where I just kind of like, immediately when I think about it, I just kind of like contract into myself, I usually regret it at the end. No matter how small, big or small it is, I never really enjoy it. And also like whenever I go along with something that makes me hesitate. If I hesitate about it, I probably shouldn't do it. Yeah. And another thing that makes me feel like I'm not living in line with my authentic self is whenever I procrastinate on something, I feel a lot of shame. I wouldn't say that I verbally like beat myself up about it, but I do kind of like, there's this sort of like sadness, like disappointment that happens. I become really disappointed in myself, even though I procrastinate a lot. Oh my god. So there is sort of like a lot of disappointment that's going on. But whenever I procrastinate, I feel that sort of like internal shame or disappointment, and that makes me feel like I'm not living within my most authentic self. Question three. So, what are the most valuable insights I gleaned and lessons learned that changed my life for the better? So, what immediately came to my mind, which is what I said, I just choose the things that, I wrote down things that just immediately popped out for me. And that was, there were two questions, so two questions that I stumbled upon. And those two questions were, how do I want to live my life? And the second question was, what is worth devoting my life for? Stumbling upon those two questions were, for me, just kind of like groundbreaking, mind-blowing. I kind of felt like a shift. And while I still don't have the answer to that question, I think I'm going to spend 2021 and probably the rest of my life working towards answering that question. And I feel like it's going to change, right? The answer to that question is going to change because I feel life is cyclical and there are seasons, and we're usually in like different phases and stages of our life. And so how I want to live my life now I think will change in like the next 5 years. Maybe some core things will stay the same, but I think I will always be exploring those two questions. How do I want to live my life, and what is worth devoting my life to? And I think answering those questions can really help me curate a life that is fulfilling, authentic, and also speaking and feeding my core inner soul, goddess, all the things. Question 4. What does my ideal life look like in 2021? So, I kind of like lost it a little bit with this. Okay, for me, it's one, I'd like to empower 100 women to solo travel and discover themselves through travel. I'd like to also live a life of sustained slow travel in at least 2 countries in 2021. So slow travel means where you spend like at least 3 months in one country, and so you really get to immerse, you really get to learn the culture, you learn the language, you kind of like become localized. Yeah, I really, really love slow solo travel. That's like my favorite form of traveling, just moving to different countries and absorbing and learning more about myself and learning about different ways that people live. And I also want to earn a 10K month, $10,000 US per month repeatedly. That is one of an ideal life for 2021. The 5th question, which I forgot to write down, questions 5 to 7, is what practical steps do I need to take in order to turn the vision of my ideal life into reality? Hi, Nikki. And Anika. And so part of it is show up every day and provide value to my travel community and my clients. I worked a lot on that in 2020. In 2019, I wasn't so great, but I improved so much in 2021 in terms of like showing up and making sure that I'm providing value to you. And I felt so much love from it because you guys have shared your gratitude and also like complimented me, and also I can see that the things that I know and the things that I experience are, you know, worthwhile, and you guys can learn from it. So I want to keep doing that. And only do work that truly moves the needle forward. That's not too practical, but having that thought in the back of my mind, is this going to move the needle forward to the thing that I actually want to do? So not productively procrastinating. You know, everybody's like, oh, I'm busy, but at the end of all the busyness, what did you accomplish? I want to like stop doing that and be busy on the things that are going to accomplish my goals. Yeah. Question 6 was, what are the areas of my inner life, values, or character that I would like to build or work on for 2021? And so for my inner life is my relationship with food. Pause. Not about losing weight, not about, you know, any of that. I'm not about the dark culture or anything like that. It's more about, like, I don't care. I want to be fit, firm, and flexible, but I don't care about what size I am to do that. Right now, I'm pretty flexible, kind of firm, but not too fit. If I'm 200 pounds and I can do that, and I do that, that's great. If I'm 100 pounds and I can do that, that's great. If I'm 150, that's great. If I'm 300, it's great. I just want to be fit, firm, flexible. And I also want to maintain my gluten-free, low FODMAP life to help to ease some of my food sensitivities and make my stomach feel yummy, because it's been yummy great going gluten-free. So we have a question, so I'm gonna pause the hop in and see what the question is. The question was, is that a new shirt? Lovely color on me. Actually, it's my mommy's shirt. She's gonna see this and probably slide into my DMs like but I'm gonna say it's new. Yeah, it's a new shirt. Thank you. Hey, Steven. Alright, so the last question, and my values that I want to sort out that I want to build on is I want to become more disciplined and excited have more excitement in taking the small steps to achieve and get to my bigger dreams. So sometimes I get really bored. I can see the big picture and I can even see the details, but going through the steps of carrying that out, sometimes I get kind of bored, and so I'd like to develop more discipline and excitement for that process. 7, last question. How can I contribute to the world in 2020 to make it a better place? And for me, like I said, I would like to empower 100 women to say they have found more of themselves, more of their inner goddess, more of their inner strength through solo travel. Like, solo travel is such an empowering gift, to be on your own, to learn and make your own decisions and curate your life and your solo trip the way you want, how you want, in the moment that you're doing it. I feel it's so amazing. I would like to share, and it's the strength that you come back with, and the discovery of a different part of yourself that you don't necessarily get to activate in everyday life. That is such a confidence booster, and it's such a gift that I want to be able to empower 100 women to do that. And as part of charity, I would like to start donating, or at least donating passports to Jamaican women. A lot of Jamaicans do not have passports. One, just as a means to be able to travel, but also just as being able to have identification. And it's a simple way, but it also is relatively expensive. It's like, what, 6,000 Jamaican dollars? It's not the easiest thing to come by for many people, or it's not the easiest thing to include in the budget if you have a smaller budget. Yeah. And the last thing I'd like to do, because like I said, I was sharing reflections for 2020 and also my vision for 2021, is I would like to share an entry in my journal for when I started my travel entrepreneurship this year, when I officially really decided that I'm going to commit and do it. And so it's actually on the 2nd of, I can't do it without my glasses. It's actually on the 2nd of February in 2020. So it's the 2nd of the 2nd, 2020. So lots of twos. And it goes, I write in gratitude. Today is February 2nd, 2020, or the 2nd of the 2nd, 2020. For much of 2019, I was searching for my purpose, searching to find that thing I felt was missing from my life. I felt unfulfilled. I had an itch, I just didn't know where to scratch. And then it happened. I had a strong urging, desire, knowledge, yearning to fully commit to my journey as a travel entrepreneur. I was being urged to resign from my job as a program specialist in international development. I was being urged to create space for life to unfold, and to do this by the 2nd of the 2nd, 2020. Since I felt that urging, and from the moment I truly decided to listen and follow wherever I was urged to go, I began receiving signs from the universe. All the signs came in twos, or had to do with the number 2. There were so many, I don't even remember them now. What I do know is that I had to be an entrepreneur by the 2nd of the 2nd, 2020. I resigned on January 31st. My first paid job as a travel entrepreneur came on February 2nd, 2020. It was actually quite impromptu. I worked as an official self-employed travel entrepreneur today. My first job was a paid partnership with Reggae Month Jamaica to cover the Jamaica exhibition at the National Gallery. I did a takeover series on their Instagram, and I also wrote a video that you can check in my IG stories. Anyways, I'm writing this to say thank you. This is for me. This is for confirmation that I am in alignment with my purpose and this current journey I am on. I will trust the process. I will work hard to show up every day and work strategically towards my goal. My doubt came at the last moment, and I mentioned to a friend that I didn't receive any more signs from the universe since I made the choice to become a travel entrepreneur. But I realized that signs came when I needed it. In fact, they were there all along. I worked for 2 hours starting at 2 p.m. on the 2nd of the 2nd, 2020. All my signs come in twos. Talk about signs, talk about affirmations, talk about synchronicity. I'm trusting even more as I continue on. Selah, thank you. Thanks so much for joining me. If you have any questions or if you'd like to share, you can hop on and let me know. In any case, happy holidays and wishing you lots of alignment and synchronicity for 2021.